So a couple weeks ago, I did a review on the Spyderco medium ceramic bench stone. And in that review, I had nothing but good things to say about it. Mostly. Since then, I've decided to purchase the fine and ultrafine versions of the same stone. And rather than do a complete review mentioning the same things that I mentioned in the previous video, I figured I'd just go ahead and do a complete sharpening with all of the stones combined. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Now the knife I'm going to be sharpening is the Spyderco Sage 1 in S30V. This knife is in bad shape and in need of a complete reprofile job. This blade has all kinds of chips and dents in the edge and the bevels are uneven. This is all because of a crazy experiment with this blade that didn't work out so well. Anyway, the first thing I need to do is remove all of those chips, and I'm going to do that by literally grinding them out at 90 degrees to the stone. Now real quick, I had a comment the other day where someone recommended to use Windex on these stones. So I'm trying that out here and it seems to work great in keeping the stones semi-clean. It works especially well on the medium stone, so much so that it doesn't seem to clog the stone at all using Windex. The other two stones seem to stay at about 80%. So far, Windex for the win. Now again, I'm removing all of the chips and uneven bevel by running the knife 90 degrees to the stone. This may seem counterintuitive, but it's the easiest way to reprofile the blade shape, especially towards the tip. Trying to reprofile the blade shape while sharpening means you have to remove all of this material while maintaining your angle at the same time. And the less time you have to maintain an angle, the better your angle is going to be, for the most part. Now realize that either way you do this, whether on the stone while sharpening or at 90 degrees to the stone, you are removing exactly the same amount of steel. So it's really up to what you feel more comfortable with. And you can see by the flat spot on the blade just how much material I had to remove in order to fix this knife. With all the chips removed, I can start creating some bevels. The medium stone works okay for this. Honestly, I'd like it to be coarser, but it's not terrible. I don't really reprofile that much, so if you're not reprofiling all the time, this is a great starter stone. Although with a little extra time, reprofiling can be done. These ceramics tend to like higher pressure, much higher than the traditional soft water stones. The higher the pressure, the better they cut. Now I'm not saying to go all Superman on them, but don't be a pansy with them either. They can handle it. Not much will hurt these things, unless of course you drop them on the floor. So I finished grinding in the bevels and I've come to a complete apex and formed the burr down the entire length of the blade. More on this in a second. If I were to strop the knife right now, it would be sharp enough to shave with. Now it's on to the fine stone. This stone and the extra fine stones are a lot like the medium stone, but don't expect much cutting performance out of either of these. They are what I like to call scratch refinement stones. They do load up somewhat, but with Windex, they seem to load up about 20% and stayed that way. A quick scrub with a green Scotch-Brite pad will bring them back. Now back to the burr thing. Like I said in the previous video, these stones have an excellent feel to them. It's important to know what the knife is doing on the stone. And when a burr breaks off on the stone, you will feel it better on this stone than any other stone in my opinion. You can also hear it. Now be careful, as once a stone breaks off, immediately clean the broken burr off of the stone, because the fastest way to dull a hair whittling edge is to jam it into some hardened steel wire. So I finished the grit refinement process, and here's what the edge looks like off of the extra fine stone. Now remember, this is a close-up, and in actuality it looks like a mirror polish. Now it's on to a green compound DIY strop. Here I'm using a smooth side of the leather and a very light coat of compound. I'm using very low pressure and an angle slightly lower than my sharpening angle. Pressing too hard into the strop can cause the strop to wrap over the apex and slightly round over the edge. Compound breaks down fairly fast, so if you find that the strop isn't working the way you want it to, try cleaning the strop and applying a fresh coat of compound. And here's a quick view of the edge after it's been stropped. Note that I do think there's a slight haze on the blade, and it's slightly more polished than it appears on the video. Now we'll just do some quick phone book cutting to check for any remaining burr. And it seems to be okay. Now I'm going to take the blade to the next level using some secret stropping compound. And I do realize I applied a little bit too much to the strop here. And here's a good real-life example of what the blade looks like after the secret stropping compound has been used. And then everybody's favorite test, the hair whittling test. And yes, it'll whittle hair. Shocker, right? So how about we try a photo to show what the blade looks like in real life? Because if I show it close up, it's going to show every single scratch that you can't see with the naked eye. And this picture right here does this blade justice. This is a mirror polish blade off of these 3 stones. So here's my closing. I think this is a great set. It's not perfect, but nothing ever is. If we were looking at this set as a whole, I'd like to see a coarser, medium stone, or even a whole separate coarse stone added to the set. But again, reprofiling can be done on the medium, it just takes more time. If I was going to start with any one stone, it would be the medium stone. The next stone I purchase would be a coarser stone for the few times that you need to reprofile and remove chips. It wouldn't even have to be an expensive stone. Even a $12 coarse cheap stone or sandpaper would do the occasional job. The fine and ultrafine will be purchased in that order. The mirror polish is good, but it's not as good as my Norton 8000. All of the stones came dead flat. That's something I can't say about my DMT stones. But that's another video for another day. So all in all, they are a good set. That's slightly hard to clean, has an excellent feel while sharpening, probably the best in my opinion, and will practically last forever. You can use them dry with water or oil, or you can use them on your living room floor to touch up blades at 5:30 in the morning and not have to worry about any mess. In my book, that's a win, 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 win. I've lost count. The end.